my people, how you doing? I hope you're having a goddamn great day. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be talking about how you can replicate a realistic Inter Miami career mode. Of course, we'll talk about transfers, some players you should look to get out of the club, where you should try and set out your youth academy. And of course, with a team like Inter Miami, their stadium isn't in the game. So I'll be showing you the best possible stadium that replicates their in-game, or no, their real-life stadium in-game, and of course, how you can go about making it look as realistic and authentic as possible. If you can, hit that like button down below. Subscribe if you are new and you like content like this. I do tend to create quite a bit of it. And of course, let's hop on into the goddamn video. So it is a shameless plug moment, but recently, like a few hours ago, I created the Inter Miami 4-3-3 system. Now I know that obviously they have been playing a back five system, but more so for majority of last season they played a 4-3-3, and I am led to believe that they will revert back to that as the MLS season starts. Of course, I think that can get the best out of the players that they have, and therefore I think they'll go back to it. So if you haven't seen it, go click on the video. I'll link it at the end of this one, and then you can have your realistic Inter Miami tactics in your realistic Inter Miami career mode. Okay, so taking a look at the team as a whole, we've got the likes of Drake Callender as well as Dos Santos. Now, this team, their goalkeeping situation is quite dire. I would recommend going out looking in the market for a better rated goalkeeper that can come in and suit the system. Now, I have one in mind, but we'll get there soon enough. Moving on to your fullback department, the left back, of course. I think it's a very solid set of players here. You've got a very good overall aging superstar. You've got a very solid backup. And then you've got a young kid here in Noah Allen that can be a very good fundamental piece for the future. Moving on to the centre-backs. Look, Christoph and Avilas are the best centre-backs at this club. The others should probably look to leave. McVeigh, Frey, and Saylor, they're either too old or not good enough. Or too old and not good enough. Either way, I think looking for solid centre-backs is a must for your transfer targets. Moving on though, you've got one right back on the side, one recognised right back on the side. Of course, there is another one, but he's actually a further forward winger. But DeAndre Yedlin, he is 29, he's from the United States, which is great, but at the same time, I would suggest looking for a potential replacement in the starting lineup for that right back position. Onto your midfield, we've got Busquets, Gregor, Ayoro. Again, very much like the left back department, very solid. You've got an aging superstar at 83 overall, Busquets, and then you've got two really good rotational pieces in the likes of Gregor and Ayoro. Into your midfield, we've got the likes of Jean Mota, Gomez, Farias, and this kid right here, Kremansky, I think that's how you pronounce his name, Benjamin, that's what we'll call him. He is 17. Look, he is probably going to be the future of this Inter Miami team, right? So look to try and build around him for the future as well. But in terms of this man right here, Nicholas Stefanelli, he's recently left the club, so therefore I would look to obviously shift him out in real life if you haven't already updated the game. Therefore he is still in the team. So if he is, look to try and get him out the club and look to maybe replace him with somebody else. I don't know. We've got a few transfer targets in mind though. Into your forward line, I guess, the likes of Gressel, like, he can also play as a right wing back, so maybe he could be the natural right back for the side going forward for the future, although he is 29. He can play centrally as well. He can also play more slightly further forward, being a potential rotational piece with the likes of Lionel Messi. One area that I will say you should look to try and find a better player for is that left wing position. Maybe that's a Neymar. I don't know. Pointers though, Robert Taylor, Robinson, and Ascona are not really that well rated, so therefore I would suggest looking for a better option. Into your other forwards, we've got the likes of Lionel Messi, of course. He's done it all, he's won it all, he is fantastic, he is the GOAT for many people. Obviously looking to build success in America with him is an essential aspect. Playing him as that right wing that has a very free role is also going to be essential, so therefore there's no real changes needed. Maybe, again, looking for a better replacement or backup for him. Maybe a youngster that can come in and in 2 or 3 seasons' time take over from Messi when he inevitably retires. That would probably be a must. As for the likes of Suarez, recently signed to the team, look, doesn't have a real face, which kind of annoys me. But nonetheless, having him Messi up front, having him score goals is going to be essential and a lot of fun to try and use in the game. And then, of course, we've got some very suitable backups, the likes of Campana, as well as this man right here. So taking a look at the instructions at hand, of course, targeting 4 different areas of the team, the attacker, the midfielder, and, of course, the defender. And then, of course, looking to try and target older players from Europe and trying to bring them in. So, starting off with the attacker, of course, 20 to 30 years of age. they need to be first team quality or an adequate backup. Now, this is mainly targeting either a backup striker or a backup left winger. Very short in both departments, if you ask me. As for the midfielder, they do have quite a lot of different number 8s in the side, but they aren't really of the quality that you would require for a successful MLS side. So therefore, maybe shifting some of those players out and looking for a more suited, adequate, better type of player could be a necessity for the team. So the overall conditioning of those players should be either first team quality or potentially a youngster in a first team prospect. As for the defender, now this is more so targeting the right back area as well as the centre back departments. Look, in both areas, I think they're quite short. You've got two really good centre backs in the side. One's aging and one is 18 years of age. And then you've got one recognized right back. So therefore, looking to try and fill those positions with better suited players would help the side a lot. And then finally, looking to try and bring in those older players in the final 12 months of their deals from Europe to America. It's very much a thing that the MLS is well known for. So therefore, looking for, world-class players in those areas would help the side build for a better future. So taking a look at some targets, now I've only put 3 on the list, the likes of Keylor Navas, Modric and Kroos, but more so these do try and target the areas of the team that I think are quite weak. Also, I will say this, they aren't actually linked with moves to Inter Miami in real life, but they are aging superstars in Europe that are in the final 12 months of their deal. So therefore, the likes of Inter Miami could, in real life, make a move for them at the end of their contracts, allowing them to, see out the final few years of their careers in a very glorious city known as Miami. So, of course, the likes of Messi wasn't actually linked with a move directly to Inter Miami up until like a few weeks before the move was actually finalized. So, therefore, I always think that the MLS can always be a wild card. So, why not bring the likes of Toni Kroos and Modric to try and form one of the most formidable MLS midfields of all time in the likes of Busquets, Modric and Kroos? That would be absolutely insane. Not to mention the fact that you could have the likes of Keylor Navas between the sticks, saving shots and playing out from the back very effectively. Okay, so in terms of the youth department and where you should be scouting, now, I haven't really found too much about, the MLS and where they scout and how they scout, but nonetheless, in terms of the scouting department, I've set out 2 scouts, one being in America, of course, looking to, sweep up that good young American talent, as well as one in Argentina. They have recently, been finding these young kids from Argentina, South America, to be fair, and bringing them to the MLS, giving them contracts, allowing them to try and establish themselves in the footballing world, and then maybe going from America to Europe where they can look to try and spread their wings and become superstars. So therefore, I've gone for those 2 countries. Okay guys, so in order to try and, recreate the Inter Miami Stadium in real life, I've selected the Crown Lane Stadium. And of course, I've renamed it to the actual stadium's name, the DRV PNK Stadium. Of course, it's not a massive stadium. It seats around, I think it's like 23 or 24,000 people, but of course in the game it seats 24,103 people. So therefore, obviously selecting that stadium goes a long way. But of course, the color scheme is essential. The stadium color should be set to black, therefore allowing the seating color to pop out a bit more, and that should be set to pink. And I think that more or less replicates a very realistic look to their stadium that you would necessarily see in real life. Okay, and finally discussing the budget at hand. You start off with around $23 million, therefore I would suggest you be very smart with your transfer wheelings and dealings. Looking to try and approach free agents would best suit your financial scheme and how you would try and sign bigger named players. The likes of Keylor Navas, wait for his deal to expire, then sign him in the summer as a free agent, as well as the likes of Modric and Toni Kroos. Of course, I wouldn't suggest you go and blow your whole budget on one specific player. Look to try and, spread it out quite evenly and trying to improve the squad as a whole as time progresses. So yes, people, that is how I would start off a realistic Inter Miami career mode. If you have enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below, subscribe if you are new, and I will see you guys later.